please subscribe down there for our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications and share this with your friends. Radhe Radhe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Starting from Vilapa-kusumanjali 35. Prantadhvaye paribharit virajita gucha yugma vibrajitena navakanchana dorakena kshinam krudhyatyata kshishodhari chid ave ativa bhadnami bostava kadabhi bhayena madhyam. So now Raghunath Das Goswami addresses Srimati Radhika as the slender-waisted girl. Oh, slender-waisted girl, when, fearing that your slender waist might break, will I carefully tie it with a new golden belt, splendid with flower cluster tassels at each end. So this verse is connected to the Ras Leela. When Rati Manjari was observing Srimati Radhika dance during the Ras Leela, she became afraid out of her mamata, love, possessive love for Radhika, that her waist might break. So Gurudev describes that Srimati Radhika is so beautiful. She has perfect, what he says, Gurudev said, like a perfect shape of a lady should be like an hourglass. So it's like she has, like from the shoulders down to the waist, comes like this. Right? And then from the waist down to the hips, again, comes like this. So Radhika has broad, like beautiful broad chest and hips, and in the middle is a very thin waist. So Gurudev describes that when she's dancing in the rasa dance, she's so expertly dancing in such artistic ways, sometimes bending in one way to another way, that sometimes the manjaris are afraid Radhika's waist might break. Thinking that her waist is so thin, and yet she has such like heavy like chest that she will not be able to support. So what to do? At that time, Rati Manjari goes and ties a sash around Radhika's waist just to give her extra strength. So this is the mood of the Manjaris. So Gurudev also describes that with each of these verses, Raghunath Das Goswami is in his internal absorption as Rati Manjari, also known as Tulsi. So in his meditation, he's going and while watching the Ras dance, once there's a little break, then he goes and ties this belt on Radhika's waist. And just as he is tying the belt, again he comes back into his absorption as Raghunath. That scene vanishes, and he begins to lament and weep, rolling on the bank of Radhakund. So this is verse 35. Okay, so we'll go to the verse 36. Kanaka guchitam ucher muktikam matkarate tilakushuma vijetri nasika susubrittam madhumatana mahali shobakam hemagori prakatatara marandra prayamadasyate kim. O golden Srimati Radhika, when will your nose, which defeats the beauty of a sesame flower, receive from my hand a beautiful golden honey pearl that agitates the great bumblebee, Sri Krishna? So if we look at pictures of Radha Krishna like Seva Kunj, you'll see they have a pearl shaped like a drop of honey, but it's very white, and it's right under the middle of their nose, hanging there. So this is one ornament Krishna also wears, a special kind of pearl. Not really like a nose ring. She has a nose ring also on the side, but this is underneath her nose. So in this verse, Raghunath describes her nose to be more beautiful than a sesame flower. So oftentimes we hear Krishna's and Radhika's nose to be described like a sesame flower. People think, what is a sesame flower? So that's why I Googled it. You can see sesame flower. Okay. It looks a little bit like a nose, you can see. Yes? You can look at it later. So it means something, you can see more here also. So basically, it means they have it's very thin and slender and curving to the bottom. Okay, so this is a sesame flower, but it's more beautiful than that. Also, if you give the analogy of a flower, naturally it implies beauty. And especially the sesame flower has somewhat of a nose shape. So they say that, oh Radhika, your nose is more beautiful. It defeats the beauty of a sesame flower. Also, sesame flowers are very attractive to bumblebees. And so because Krishna is a bumblebee, always taking the nectar from the different flowers of Braj, therefore Srimati Radhika's nose is described to look more beautiful than a sesame flower. So she has a very slender, nicely curving nose. And Raghunath prays to put a honey-like pearl. And to drink the nectar of that pearl, the bumblebee of Krishna is always searching for Srimati Radhika and flying towards Srimati Radhika. So then, what's 37? Let's just read 37 and then we'll talk about both. Yeah, here it says, you have to look in the word for word. Kanaka gutitam ucher muktikam matkarate. So it may have a slight golden color. Prabhupada talks about something in his commentary. He said, why does he pray to... Oh, not in this one, the next one. No, in the previous one. So he says, what is the speciality of gold? What is so special about gold that they're always praying to offer something gold? And Prabhupada said, gold is like someone who is a very good sevak. Because gold always stays with you. Because if you see gold, gold doesn't have any corrosive effects. Like silver becomes dark after some time. It becomes like blackish. And then you have to clean it very nicely and you lose some of the silver also every time eventually. But gold never becomes like rusty or anything like that. It's always fixed. And also if any other elements are mixed into the gold, by melting down the gold in a furnace, ultimately only gold will remain. So also if a good sevak is mixed with asat sangha, then by praying to Guru and Vaishnavas, ultimately that asat sangha will leave them and they'll remain pure. So gold is described, the manjaris always use gold because they are also like gold, always with Srimati Radhika. Also their complexions are golden. So gold is very special. Gold is a very special element and it's connected to Srimati Radhika. Also gold has a very energizing power. If you cook in a gold pot, then it's very healthy. In Ayurveda, you can use gold bhasma, means ash of gold. Like in Chawan Prash, there's some gold. They use ashes. They burn the gold till it becomes ash. I mean, you can imagine how hot. And then they use that in different medicines. And this gives a lot of strength. Gurudev would take this in his older age. Also sometimes like gold, some silver, even some gems also, they can take into powder. So it gives a lot of energy to the body. But mainly gold is something that's very like dependable and very steady and doesn't ever leave. It's like a perfect sevak. So that's why all these ornaments decorating Radhika are gold. Prabhupada said even that like certain things you shouldn't give, like even silver. Like generally it's appropriate to give Thakurji gold things, not so much silver. Gold is more important, more special. So that's the speciality of gold. So, okay, so we'll go to 37. Angadena tava vama dostale swarna gauri navaratna malikam patagucha parishobhitam mimam agyaya parinayami te kada. Again, O golden Srimati Radhika, Swarna Gauri, means, oh, she is the color of molten gold, so very bright and effulgent. Navaratna Malikam. So when will I give you this armband, which is Navaratna? It has 9 kinds of jewels. Navaratna generally means you wear a special kind of necklace or armband that has jewels of 9 types of gems that correspond to the 9 planets. And then you are protected from the influence of any malefic astrological influence. So this is Navaratna. We can see you can buy these like kavachas with Navaratnas. For Vaishnavas, this isn't important. For Radhika, it shows that all the planets are serving Srimati Radhika. Because the planets are present in their gemstone. The gemstone has the power of those planets. It's like a small representative. So we have like a stone for Saturn, a special stone for the sun is like ruby, Mars is this red coral, then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is yellow sapphire, Mercury, and Venus. I think Venus is, I don't know Venus, maybe emerald. So you have all these kinds of 9 stones. So they give Radhika an armlet with these special 9 stones. And then they tie it with flowers as well. What time is it? It's a short class today. Prabhuji tells one more thing. When they describe that, I think it's this verse, maybe it's another verse, the cheeks are very like crimson. And he says this is described to be like ripe fruit. So that signals to the parent Krishna that now they are ready to come and be relished. So generally when you see someone is like Kishore Kishori, then they have natural like redness in the cheeks or redness in the lips. This shows that they are now fully matured. So this is, the sun is like the father of fruits and fruits and the trees. The sun is like the father. And he prepares them and then he signals to the parrots when they are ripe. So without the influence of the sun, they will not blossom and have this crimson color on their cheeks. Like you see a ripe apple have some reddish shine, or a ripe mango has some reddish shine. So this shows that they are now fully ripe Kishore Kishoris. So then the sun, who is like their father, because without the sunlight, the plants get no strength and energy. The moon is like the plant's mother. The moon gives rasa, and the sun gives shakti. So by the sun and the moon, all plants get so much strength and then they become ripe. And then the sun arranges for them to have their relationship. So Krishna is like a transcendental parrot, and seeing anyone who is fully blossomed, this also shows that they have so much like pran, life, energy. And this shows that, oh, now we are fully ready to offer ourselves to Krishna. So that's why Krishna will come and he will bite the cheek or the lip and then give some cut. So this is one thing we can meditate on. We pray ourselves that when can we be ready for Krishna Seva? When can we become, like by the mercy of bhakti, Krishna Karshani? We just learned this verse. Kleshagni, Subhada, Moksha Laguta Krit, Sudurlabha, Chandrananda Visheshatma, Shri Krishna Karshani Chasha. The 6th result of bhakti is that you become so attractive by the performance of bhakti, so beautiful that you even attract Shri Krishna. So Krishna is not attracted to anything mundane or material. What makes the manjaris beautiful or what makes the sakis beautiful is their pure mood in their heart. And this mood of bhakti manifests on their body and makes them fully matured or ripe, fully blossoming in this crimson color of youth, and then Krishna is attracted to come and meet with them. So we pray to one day be able to develop these qualities of bhakti. Kleshagni, the first quality of bhakti is that by performing bhakti, all kinds of klesh, all fires of suffering will be destroyed. This means 2 things, that when you follow bhakti, you have to grow through some initial state of suffering in order to be cleansed. This is Chaito Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, going through the forest fire of material existence, and then by performing bhakti, this forest fire will be put out. The first stage of bhakti is Guru Padashray. Guru Padashray Tasmat. So that means that Sangsara Davanala Nidaloka. By taking shelter of the lotus feet of Guru, then the shower of mercy will come from Sri Guru, and then the forest fire of suffering in the material world will be extinguished. So by following bhakti, the first stage is Kleshagni. That means the first thing in bhakti is taking shelter of Sadguru, Guru Padashray. So you take shelter of Guru, and then by Guru's mercy, the clouds of Guru's mercy will collect above you, and then shower down upon you with so much mercy that the entire forest fire will be extinguished. You can imagine how much mercy is there with Guru. That's why we say, Abada Karuna Sindhu Katya Muhan Gade Gade Buli Prem Ammi Adavan. Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is so great that he broke open the dam of Mahaprabhu's mercy and it flooded the whole world. So this is the flood of Guru's mercy, which rains down from above, from the spiritual world, and extinguishes all kinds of fires of suffering. Kleshagni means 3 kinds of fires of suffering. Adhyatmik, Adhibautik, Adhidevik. Anguish caused by yourself, by your mind, by others, or by material nature and your karmas. So all these things are destroyed by bhakti. The next one, Kleshagni, Subhada, all auspiciousness awakens. Vidyavadu Jivanam, Shreya Kaireva Chandrika. The second part of the first verse of Shiksastakam means the full moon of mercy rises, and then all auspiciousness comes in our life, Subhada. And then we begin to feel that liberation is very insignificant. Moksha Laguta Krit. Laguta means something very light. Guru is very heavy. So we take shelter of Guru, then moksha, everything, bhukti mukti is very insignificant, very light. So moksha Laguta Krit is very useless. Sudurlabha means this bhakti is so rare and so rarely achieved. It said even there are millions of liberated persons, but still to find a pure devotee of Krishna is very rare, even amongst millions of liberated souls, like millions of liberated rishis and yogis. But like the 4 Kumaras, before they met Narad and smelled the charan tulsi of Vishnu, they were just impersonalist yogis. But when they smelled the tulsi coming from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu and the chandan, then they became, we heard this verse before, Atmaramas chamuneo nigranta bi rukrame kurvanti haitikim bhakti mitim bhuta gunohari. The bliss of bhakti is so great, Chandrananda Vishesatma, this is the next one. The bliss of bhakti is so great that even the bliss of liberation becomes very insignificant in comparison. And then the last one, Sri Krishna Karshani, the devotion of the devotees, the bhakti, is so powerful that even Krishna himself, the all-attractive personality of Godhead, is attracted to them. So that's why we see that Krishna is always attracted to Srimati Radhika and her expansions, the Sakhis, so much so that he is like a bumblebee, always coming to meet with them. They never have to go to find him or take shelter of him or pray to him. Instead, Krishna is always coming to them, like a parrot or like a bumblebee. So we learn that 3 verses today. Vanchakalpadrupasya kripasinubhevsa vridanam pavanebhyo.